Welcome to Windows Labs. Today we're going to talk about computer management. There's two ways to go about invoking it. One is going into Start, Control Panel, under Administrative Tools, and then you have Computer Management. You double click and launch. Another way I'm going to show you is by using the Start menu, clicking on Start, right clicking on Computer, or My Computer if you're using XP, go to Manage. And then here you can see that we have the computer management console here. I'm going to just blow it up so it's a little bigger. So you have a couple different tools in here. You have your task scheduler, your event viewer, your share files, user and groups, performance, device manager, disk management, and under services and applications, services. So I'm going to quickly go through a couple of them. Task scheduler. Here, this is where if you have different tasks scheduled, so like an example here, I have task scheduled for running the disk cleanup from Windows Utility, so it's set to run every Friday. And then you can double click on it to see the properties. So you can see here, set up to run when I'm only logged in. It's triggered by weekly event actions. It starts this program with the switch settings that will run the task, and then if you have some conditions you can set up some settings and history. So like an example here, if I want to start it up, I can right click, say run, and then you'll see down here that it's running, and then it went away. So that's task scheduler in a quick nutshell. Event viewer is a very good one here. You have your Windows logs. These are your traditional like ones that you see from XP. This will show you what error messages you have, securities like successfully logged in, who, and also the other important part is the event ID. You can Google the event ID and it will tell you more information if you want to know. And then you have your setup. So this gives you your setup, your system is your other big one that people look at. Another one that I like using a lot is the share. This will tell you what shares you have. So if you didn't know if someone created a share on your machine, it's easy way to find it, even if it's hidden or not. So like an example, by default, Windows shares out the Windows folder called the admin $signs. The reason you don't see that is with the $sign, it hides the share, so you don't know it. You'd have to know how it's spelled to get in there. So by default, any drive letters, so like we have drive C and E, they're both here. So the root of those drive letters are shared as a hidden share. So you would go / the name of the computer you want to connect to, or the IP address / C $signs with the proper username and password. You would be able to access the shares or the content of those drive letters. And then this one here, the IPC $sign, is for remote use. It's basically for logging into the computer. So here you can see another one I've created, new folder. It's on the E drive. So if I didn't know that I created a new folder, then I should go and look for it and remove it if I didn't create it myself. And then you also have another default one with 7 is the user folder. Here's another one that's good too. This will show you if anybody else was logged in using your share. They would show up right here by the IP address, computer, what file, what time, how long they've been idle. So that's also a good one. And then here's another one where if they had files that were open that were you're trying to access, you can go in here, right click and end them. So if you have like a spreadsheet with a Word file in there that you want to access and someone else is accessing it, you can go right click and disable that. Here, this is where you can get into the advanced settings of users and groups. So here we have users. You can see we have a couple of basic users, and same thing with our guest. We have our guest accounts. Right here we have our group accounts. You can see all the different groups here. You can see some of the different software I've installed that create some additional groups. Performances, you can set up performance monitoring. So if you want to monitor, something, all you gotta do is click add, and then what would you want to monitor. So then you can hit all. If you want to do just one or the other, you can add that right in there, and then you would go ahead and monitor. The other one here is your device manager. This is where you manage your device drivers. So here you can see I have a little triangle here. This basically means that this driver is not correctly installed. It's not working correctly. And then here you can see like the other ones are correctly installed. You know, there's no red or little yellow triangles. So if you had an updated video driver, you can go here and right click and update driver. And then if you had the file downloaded, you can browse for it and then run the update. The other one is disk management. This is where you can manage your hard drive. So you can see here we have some dynamic disk going. And then we can add or shrink, you know, the drives depending on what we need. And the other important one is services. So these are, you know, functions that your machine is doing in the background, you know, with or without your knowledge. So here you can go scroll through here and look at all the different services. You can see that they're started. You can see here this is automatic, so when the computer boots up, the service starts up. So I'm just going to right click on it so you can kind of see some of the options. So here you can see we have when the machine boots up, it's automatic. So we could do it where it's automatic. Automatic would delay start, manual, or disabled. So manually it means you would have to go in here and start it. Disabled means that there's some other program needed the services, it wouldn't start up. You'd have to manually go in there, start it, and disabled wouldn't be able to start. And then log in. So say if you had a specific user account you needed, you would be able to put this in here, or if you were just going to use the Windows local service account, you can just check that box too. And then recovery, here is if it didn't start the first time, you can try again. And then dependencies, this will tell you what it needs for this service to work. Alright, so that's a quick run through computer management. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.